how to change candle colors and background. So normally in MetaTrader, when we open a new chart, we get those basic default settings. That's like the green with the black background. It's not very nice to look at, not very visually appealing. To make those changes in the settings, we right click on the chart, we go down on properties, and then over to colors here on the right side. Now let's select color on white. Okay. Now we see there's still a few things we maybe would like to remove. Now we can go back in and we would like to remove the grid from the background. We also like to remove the tick volumes. Okay, now this is much better. Now we can make even more adjustments. If let's say to make it a little bit easier for our eyes to look at, we'd like to have a black background. So we can here in the background change it to black. And now we see for some reason the price data on the side, everything disappeared. And that's because the foreground that's on the foreground is the same color. So we have to change that to white. This is in case you run into this issue as well. So we have to change it to white, click OK, and now it's done. Looks a lot cleaner, a lot better, easier to look at, saves you a tiny bit of electricity with the black background, and it's better for your eyes as well. So hope you like this. If you like another video, leave a comment below. There's ways where we can make a template, save templates as well, that we can quickly load and get the same settings on different charts. So if you're interested in that, leave a comment. I'll make a video on that as well. Risk reward ratio tool in MetaTrader. So there's a way in MetaTrader where we can make some adjustments in the settings and get a free risk reward tool to measure the risk reward ratio. And the way to do it is we have to make some changes to the Fibonacci tool that's currently here. So we have to click on this button here, and it looks something like this. I'm sure you're familiar with it. The way to changes we have to make now is we have to right click on it, go on to properties, and now we are turning this into a risk reward measuring tool. So we have to head over to levels and delete all the ones unless the 0 we're going to delete the 1, the 0, and the 1. These two we're going to leave. Now we're going to add, let's say, one more. It's going to be 2 more. So the first one, the 0, that's going to be your stop loss. So we can name this stop loss. The 1 would be your entry. So we can call this entry. And again, in the description, you can write in whatever you like. You can do just SL or entry or whatever you like, or leave it empty. This would be a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. So we can just write 1-to-1, and then let's do maybe a 2-to-1 and a 3-to-1. And here we have the levels 3 and 4. Click OK. Perfect. And now we have this beautiful tool. We can use it for both long and short positions. So now let's just quickly go through it. So we deleted it. Now if we click on here, every time we use it, we get our risk reward ratio tool. We can use it for both long and short positions. So if we drag this corner here, move it up, then it's basically flipped. So if we're looking at the short, if let's say over here, we're looking at the short below this level, and we were to place the stop above, now we would see exactly what is our risk reward ratio. So a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio would be over here. And if let's say we had a target down here, we'll be looking at roughly 1-to-1, 1.5 risk reward. And it's very nice, very simple, very quick to get a basic idea on what ratio you're looking at when you're looking at the trade setup. Very effective. We can also change the color on it. If we go back in and to levels, here yellow, we can, I don't know, maybe you like pink. So, or magenta, not pink, whatever it's called. Click it, and now it looks like this. This other line here, we have to change the colors on there. under common. So if we have the same one here, now they have the same color. Okay, hope this is going to be helpful. If you like it, subscribe, like, leave a comment below. Customize toolbar and timeframes. So the next one is a little bit difficult to see, but on the left side here, there are a bunch of small dots. That's where you have to click on it and drag the toolbar to rearrange it. So you can have them next to each other, you can have them vertically on top of each other, you can just move them around, play around with it and see what layout you like best. There are really a lot of options. So what I'm going to show you now is something that helped a lot of my students, and it just helped so many traders at getting better with following their trading plan and strategy and ultimately become a better trader. If you don't have a strategy or a trading plan and you need help with that, feel free to reach out to me. Or, if you generally just feel lost and overwhelmed, you can contact me and I'll see how I can help you. And we'll go through the different steps together. Okay, so the reason I'm mentioning a strategy and trading plan here is because if, let's say, you have a strategy that is based on the 15 and 30-minute time frame and you know that it has a profitable outcome, you obviously need to stick to it in order to get the results you want. Now, what most people do, and that's a big reason why a lot of traders keep losing, is because they are switching back and forth between too many pairs and too many time frames, and take trades that are not actually part of their trading plan. So here is what you have to do for this little setting. It's quite simple, but can be very, very effective. So I would definitely recommend you give it a try. So after you adjusted your toolbars and you place them however you like, and you're happy with your new design, you go over to your toolbar with the time frames, you right click on it and you select customize. And now you see this new little window popping up. On the left side, you have a number of different time frames. And on the right side are the ones that are currently displayed on your toolbar. In the middle here, you see a button for insert and remove. So you can actually, on the left side, there are a lot of additional time frames that are not included in the default settings. Most people don't use them. But now the important part is, if let's say with your strategy, you know that you should only be trading on the 15-minute and 30-minute time frame, and maybe let's say the 1-hour time frame as well. So what you have to do is, we only want to look at those time frames. And to prevent you from switching back and looking at, end up on the 1 or 5-minute time frame, for example, we have to remove them. So you click on the 5-minute and you remove it. Let's do the same with the 4-hour and the daily, because let's say they are not relevant currently. And then we close. And now you see on your toolbar, now you only see the 15 and the 30-minute and the 1-hour. And this is a very effective tool because it does two things. One, it cleans up your toolbar for a nicer, more organized look. And two, it does a benefit by helping you to stick to your trading plan and your strategy, so you don't end up trading on other time frames that you know you're not supposed to look at and trade on. So try it out. It's simple but very effective. Jump to a specific date. There's a very nice and effective way to quickly go back in time to a specific date and time. So if let's say we're trying to backtest, we want to look at some price action, previous price action, and instead of scrolling back on the chart and spending a lot of time, we can go down to the bottom here, we click enter, and now we have this little window here. If let's say now we're in February, let's say we're trying to go back to the 1st of June 23. So the format is day, month, year. So we would type in 1/6, since June is the 6th month of the year, 2023, press enter. And now within a second, we are at that specific date. So hope this is going to save you a lot of time and have fun backtesting. Scale fix. How you can move the price chart similar to TradingView in MetaTrader. This is another easy and extremely helpful setting. It's unbelievable how many people actually don't know this and are not using it. because not taking advantage of the setting, it's just you're missing out. It's making your trading experience so much easier. So the way to scale fix your chart is you right click on the chart, go all the way down to properties, make sure you're on the common tab, and then you select scale fix. Now if you click OK and you're scrolling back, you go to the left, your chart is not automatically being changed or adjusted, so it's actually fixed. The scale is fixed. This is what it does. And the other nice setting within here, what you can do is, if you go back to properties here and do the scale fix, you see these two numbers. One is the higher price and the lower price number. These are the same you see on the right side here on the chart. And if you type in another number that's higher on this side and maybe a lower one on the bottom, you see a larger window on your chart. And now it actually makes it even easier, where you can zoom in and out of the chart and look at different price levels, maybe a resistance higher above or a support lower down, that normally you wouldn't be able to look at with the basic default settings. So give it a try. Hope it's going to help you. The Crosshair tool or measuring tool. There's a very easy way to do some basic measurements on your chart, where you can get the number of candles and the price difference in pips. So there are two ways to do it. The first one, you go up on your toolbar here, you select the Crosshair tool, and now if let's say we'd like to know the difference between this price point, if we were to look at the sell, what would that range be? So here now we see there would be 12 bars. I mean, previously 12 bars, actually 12 candles, 129 points. That would be 12.9 pips. So now we know that this range would be 12.9 pips. We can also use this to maybe calculate a stop loss. So if we here and we're like, okay, if a stop would go above the candle, how far would that be? Well, in this case, we are exactly at 129 points, 12.9 pips too. So this would be like a 1-to-1 risk reward ratio. It's very simple to see, especially when you're calculating your take profit and stop losses. The second way to do it is by pressing your Control and F on your keyboard, and you get the same Crosshair tool. So there are two ways, either through your toolbar or with your keyboard. How to set a price alert notification. Setting price alerts in MetaTrader in both MT4 and MT5 is a simple and very valuable tool. Using it correctly can help you to minimize losses and also prevent you from missing out on trades, especially when you're anticipating a breakout or just waiting for the price to reach a specific level. For example, this could be if the price is consolidating within a box, within a range, or you're waiting for the price to break below a support, or whatever it may be. With an alert, you can select a specific price level on any time frame and any pair. Once the alert is set and the price hits that level, you will then receive a notification. By default, this notification is a sound alert, so obviously you have to make sure that your sound is turned on. There are also options to set up notification via email, through your mobile phone or desktop, but in this video we will just focus on the price alerts with the default settings, and potentially we can look at the other settings in a separate video. To set an alert, here's what you have to do. First, you right click on the chart, you go to trading, and then click on alert. You can set multiple notifications or alerts, and you can also move them by dragging them up and down. It's important to note that first, so initially when you set the alert, it will be set at whatever price level you right click. Then later on, if you wish to move the alert, you can click on that red dotted line here on the right side. You left click on it, hold, and then you can drag it up or down. Here's a quick example of what it sounds like when the alert is triggered. Support and resistance. Using support and resistance levels properly is something everyone should know. And this is kind of made up of two parts. One, how to correctly identify support and resistance levels, and two, the tools we are using to mark those levels. And for this video, we are assuming you already know how to identify support and resistance levels, and we'll not get into too much detail on that and just focus on the tools MT5 offers to get the job done. One way is to use a horizontal line to draw a resistance or a support. But what if you don't want the line across the entire chart and only mark a specific area? And maybe that area is also a range rather than just a specific price level. Now we can do this by using the rectangle tool and modify it. Because with the default settings, we get a basic rectangle, which is good, for example, if you want to mark a range and have it around that range, but not what we want in this case. So we go into the settings by right-clicking on the rectangle, go to Properties, and then click on Parameters, where we see this little box, Fill, and we want to fill the rectangle to have it solid. But now looking at this red box is either going to give you a headache or it's just going to drive you crazy. So let's go change the color. Go back into the settings and change it to maybe gray. Now this looks a lot better. You can see what color you like best and choose something that creates a contrast with your background and still allows you to see the candles. I would recommend a mild color that goes well with your background and also goes well with the color of your candles. Now we can perfectly mark a support area, and it makes the chart a lot cleaner and it's going to make your trading easier as well. The bid and ask price lines and spread. So this one is about the spread, which is a very important fact to consider when trading. It happens all the time when, say, someone is taking a trade and then he or she is getting stopped out, even though it looks like the price did not actually hit the stop loss. When that happens, then the big question comes up. I'm acting all surprised, like what happened, what's going on, why does that happen to me? Well, what happened is that you got stopped out because you were not aware of the spread. And this happens especially during news events or whenever there's not a lot of volume in the market. So whenever someone is opening a trade and taking a loss in a scenario like this, where it looks like the price didn't reach the stop, but it still got triggered, well, it's because the spread took you out and apparently you were not aware of it. Well, the good news, there's a simple solution that will help you to stay aware of the spread and see how wide or how tight it is. To see the spread, we don't need to install an EA. We just need to go into the settings to enable both the bid and ask price line on the chart. And this is how you do it. You right click on the chart, you go all the way down to properties, and then on show, you see that, so with the basic settings, the default settings only have the bid price enabled. So you only see the bid price line. And we want to also display the ask price line. So you click on the show ask price line. And now you notice this red line here on the chart. The bid and ask price lines are the two prices at which you buy and sell, and the difference between them is called the spread. Whereas the spread is part of how a broker and every bank, basically every financial institution in the world, is making their small share on a transaction on an exchange. Now that we have both the bid and ask price line visible on the chart, you can monitor the spread at all times and you can trade a lot safer. When there is a lot of volume in the market, the spread will be tighter and at its lowest. And whenever there's not a lot of volume in the market or during news, the spread will be wider. Now, if you notice that the spread is wide all the time, well, then you should probably consider switching to a better broker with lower trading costs. If you need any recommendations, I'll put a link down in the description, or you can visit my website with a list of brokers that a lot of our traders are using and I personally use as well. You also get access to some amazing special offers where you get commission discounts, so you pay lower trading fees and things like that, which will save you a lot of money and help you in your trading journey. Let's take a quick look at an example. Here on euro dollar, the spread is sitting at 0 pips, which is amazing. We can check gold versus US dollar here. It's around 0.3, 0.4 pips. This is during the Australia-Asia session, so around 10 p.m. Eastern Time, New York time. This is considered a very good spread. So if you see your spread around 5 pips, 10 pips, that's horrible, so you should definitely change to a better broker. Chart Autoscroll. How to stop or enable the chart from scrolling in MetaTrader 5, and it's pretty much the same in MT4. So if you want to prevent the chart from scrolling automatically as new price data comes in, you can do this by the following steps. There are two options to do this. First, I have to mention, so usually this is an issue when, let's say, you're trying to go back in time, you maybe want to do some back testing or review some of your previous trades, and you're scrolling back on the chart, but as soon as you do that, it keeps popping back to the right side. The chart keeps adjusting by itself, and it goes to the new candle on the right side. And that's a setting you can actually turn on or off. So the first way to do this, the first option is by right-clicking on the chart. You go all the way down to Properties. On the Common tab, you see the option here, Chart Autoscroll. You can turn it on or off, and then make sure you save the settings by clicking OK. The other option, a lot easier, is on the top in your toolbar. In this case, it's the third one from the right. You have this button and you can turn it on or off as well. When it's turned on automatically, it will adjust the chart. If it's turned off, you can backtest, scroll back as far as you like without being interrupted. Okay, here we are at the end. That was it. The top 10 tips, tricks, and settings for MetaTrader, MT4 and MT5 that you must know to become a better trader. I hope you liked this video and thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.